We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. On first down, Wentz. And his first look is incomplete. Akello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz, and complete to Zach Ertz. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
On 2nd and goal, Wentz, the quick slant caught. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. And I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
The kick by Elliott is good. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Garoppolo looks to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Wentz. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. This one complete to Smallwood. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 21 yards away. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
34 yards there and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
11. Switch it. 21. Here we go. Hey, gun. Safety's creeping.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Hey, alert. 1, Omaha.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Fletcher Cox, his 2nd sack of the night. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hey, I 7.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibson. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So drive 1, they had the field goal. Drive 2, touchdown. And now here on drive 3, looks like they're going to have to punt.
At least they were finally able to reverse the trend because giving up the field goal, then the touchdown, it's almost like they finally got to the offensive side of the ball and said, okay, we've got the system to shut you down.
On the return is Pettis. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Wentz. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Another try after the first down sack. Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. D Ford in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offense. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Eagles take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down, Smallwood. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional run. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Wentz going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. He finds Coleman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, and way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Garoppolo. is here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Yeah, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel there to make the grab. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6.
Garoppolo now. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing. The interception, if he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Wynn's going to try and throw on 3rd. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now this time, Wentz will throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. That was off kilter. Offense up front, everyone was just kind of out of sync.
Well, from my perspective, that certainly looked like the defense just destroyed that play. Absolutely just took it over.
All right, so I'm going to revamp what I said. The defense was in sync. How about that?
Oh, I like that one.
So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Come on. White. Hey, orbit.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. Garoppolo on first down. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle there to make the grab. And the 49ers get a score closer. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Wentz. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Wentz's throw taken in by Sanders. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a throw here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now Wentz. For the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
That's caught left side, Arcega-Whiteside. And they will get to him at the 7 and snap him short of the first down marker. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 25, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
65.
Take 4, take 4.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
I got this.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. On first down, Garoppolo. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. 6. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. His pass caught at the 4. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Wentz going to go on 4th down. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And that will force a turnover on downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
I'm coming for you, son.
One final try now for Garoppolo. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs.